Hello, 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 hello. Wow, it's been like 7 months. I was making this frame and was like checking how last time I was logged into this account. It was like 7 months. It's been a while, About 7 months since I think before Mama graduated. It was like February, like March, before we moved into this house. So it's been a very long time. I think it's about like almost around like 2 months after, like, since I spoke English out loud too. So anyways, before like catching up to what happened before, I really like to have some drink since we actually got a job and we moved into another space. And well, that is like another like a big story that I want to unfold. But today is technically like out of like midnight JST. That means today is the last day of my vacation. You know, like Thanksgiving and everything. We took like 2 weeks about like a break. It is definitely not in like a summer area, but so I was really kind of sick during like the first week of the vacation since I got COVID for the second time in my life. Last time I took it from my professor during the car trip, and I was sick for like 3 days straight, like really burning up, like coughing, almost like losing my voice. But this time it actually hurted a little bit more since, you know, second time and I had like no way to get more, what do you call it, immune system developed. So like for the whole almost week I was like burning off for like 4 days and couldn't stop coughing and couldn't like function at my like first week of my first vacation from my first job. So I don't know, it was really rough, but alas I somehow managed to get through it and enjoyed my last week of the vacation. Not like fullest, but yeah. Since it is really like the end of the summer, well, summer is like already really like ended for like almost 2 months, but it felt like there was some sort of like element. What a rotten stroke of luck. Yeah. Imagine I would have caught it like before the vacation. That means I could like use a sick leave. I could use like, I don't know, like I could remote from my home for like 3 days straight because I'm sick and it is infectious disease. So I could not, I could like quarantine myself. So yeah, what was I talking? So anyways, the summer, it's like this is like October is the season where the late summer project is kind of ends on the industries, and more like entertainment industries, like a late summer project failed to get on time summer project, it sort of like ends around like October, and from like November it is like winter. This winter, Halloween, after Halloween. So one of the aspirations I had in the summer is actually drinking Inatsu, which is tada Prestige collaboration with Sake Boys, Nihonshu. I was really like looking forward to drinking it. I ordered it and received it. Clearly skipping autumn, really, yes. Cause like ever since like 2020 is like coming out, I feel like there is like no way there is any autumn or fall I experienced. About like 2 weeks of like little breeze and then it's fucking winter again. So, anyways, this is Inatsu. Live production Dinoma Inanis and Sake Boys from the Kyushu region. I had the collaborations about like making a nihonshu. And since it was sort of like imported from the overseas, there was some complications, but I really happy that I got it without any like many problems like bottle busting or like package damaging. But yeah, it really like arrived safely, and like summer aspiration was I really wanted to enjoy this while on summer since Natsu Inatsu it is summer drink. But things happened and I couldn't like be myself on the summer. So finally, I get to enjoy this drink. Ta-da! This is Inatsu. The sake boys from is like a Kyushu region, and this is Amaguchi sake, and it is Inatsu Junmai Daiginjo, which means it is all made from like the same same batch of rice, and then it processed into our like a little core until core before like it's a 50% and less rice. So it will be a really amazing drink. So, but it is kind of like my first time drinking Amaguchi sake. I'm really like a karakuchi, the harsh on the mouth feel, sort of like sake. But this is more like Amaguchi, and on the initial announcement stream, she sort of said that it is more akin to fruit wine and like a really sweet wines. So I'm really looking forward to it, that it would be captured a really nice like vibe of the summer, or would it be capturing, I don't know, sweet aspect of summer? She's very yukata, I know. I really want to visit like some festivals. Anyways, this set actually comes with a dokuri and a little sake glasses. Here. Now, the reason why I got two sake cup is that, well, there was some sort of like factory mistake where if you see the label, I don't know if I can like correctly focus it. It's after it is like baked, the little thing is, I'm suspecting there would be like a film that is like attached into and then baked with the coatings. But if you see this, this is supposed to be this letter, but it got somehow a little bit like scooched a little bit to the top while it is like producing. And this is not like an error on the a shipment side or error on the like a management side, is error on the production side. So I took like a little bit of back and forth with the Sake Boys teams, and I actually got one more set actually. The Sake Boys team has been a really amazing. They were super responsive, super respectful, and super on to the point. So yes. So if you can see on the here on my ice basket where Inatsu is laid on, that it is fixed and correct. Inatsu. Nice. So I'd like to drink from, where should I put this? Maybe here. With you today. Finally. first we need to pay the respect to the creator. Wait a second. I got the full set, of course. Okay, she can be like, this desk is really like semi and okay. Okay, first impression time. Wow, even this top is like wrapped in like parafilm. You know what parafilm is? Like, how should I like put this? There is a film that is really stretched and it's sort of like melt into the place. It is not like a sarin wrap or a plastic wrap, but it is, yeah, parafilm. It is really nice. Ooh. I've only seen like plastic films or like heat wraps where you apply heat and it's sort of like melt into the place. But I've never seen like parafilms used in like consumer sort of like booze. So it is really surprising. Okay, first crack. Okay, first impression of the smells. It is, how should I put it? It is really fruity, that in a way that it feels like it is fermented fruit. Yeah. Wow, this is really trippy actually. It is really fruity. In a way that is more like pineapple and mango and like sort of tropical fruity. Where its smell itself is really sweet, that you sort of like thinking maybe it is like fermented sweet. It is like sickly sweet or like rancid sweet, but it's really, really sweet smells that kind of captures you. Oh, it is really amazing how only the rice can make these like flavors. Okay, first drink goes to the creator. also. And one is for me. I'm gonna want to drink it a little bit more chilled, so I'm gonna put it inside this tokuri to chill it. Okay, nice atmosphere. Let's go. Okay, Inatsu, first impression of room temperature. Cling. What should I say before the first drink? To the well-being and a lawful future of the priestess. Cling. It is in a way that this is dangerous. This is really dangerous in a way that the alcohol. I was well, I'm not like a drink expert or like a sommelier, but I do enjoy a lot of drinks, and I know what is a strong alcohol is like tastes like, right? Because I have drunk like really bad alcohols, really like strong alcohols and like karakuchi things, but this one is really smooth in a way. Like even a room temperature, right? If you drink sake in a room temperature, there bound to be some sort of like kicking alcoholic things that you kind of like kicks you in your nostrils and all stuff, but it really isn't. It goes really down smoothly with there's a bit of bite. There's no bite with this one. There's no bite. Even Amakami. Of course, I can feel like a little bit of like alcohol presence in there in my aftertaste, but it really goes away with really sweet fragrance, sweet aroma. It is really enjoyable. Okay. Oh, I was really amazed by about the how smooth it is. I really couldn't like express how the taste was, so I'm gonna drink just a little bit more. Smell wise, yeah, same, almost like a fermenting, sort of like really sweet fragrance. I definitely can feel the pineapple. Like when you bite, almost like there is like a pineapple that is really ripe, and there is a pineapple that is really fruity, like grassy. This is more close to a pineapple that is really, really ripe, that almost you bite into it and it dissolves in your mouth. That kind of like sweetness. Smells really good too. And then if I drink it, it is like most strange, because in even like karakuchi sake where there's a lot of bites, those junmai feelings, the junmai, how should I say, the rice funk? It is what it is, but rice funk is kind of like having a distinctive smell of, not smell, the mouthfeel of when you chew your rice a lot of times. It's sort of like develop into a little muddy and earthy sweetness in your mouth, right? And most of the sake is made from rice, so it sort of like have that one, but it doesn't. It is really strange that I'm drinking sake and I'm drinking a wine, actually, like essentially like a pineapple wine. It doesn't have like those sort of things, and so I'm really like enjoying this. If this was like a fizzy drink, it would have been like surpassed any champagne I ever had, but this is Nihonshu, so okay, one more. This is really nice. This actually, what this feels like to me is like cotton candy, where if you bite a cotton candy, you would like have a waft of true dangerous drink. It is really dangerous drink. If you have like a bite of the cotton candy, you would have like a waft of how would I say it? Oh, like a little bit of like the smell of artificial scent, right? A waft of that, because essentially cotton candy is an air, and then you get a little bit of sweetness from a sugar melting in your mouth, and then it just dissolves away. and it leaves you a little bit of just like delightful little thing of sweetness. And this really like feels like that. This is like a even kakigori, the shaved ice, even this sort of like feels like that too. And I think they are really rightful to say this is a Inatsu, the summer drink, because summer memories and summer aspirations and summer love is sort of like fading real quickly. And kakigori and like cotton candy is both like a festival food you drink and eat from our festival stands. So from those like image making and the things, I think they really nailed the concepts of summer inside this bottle. I'm really liking it so far. Nice. Okay, now I think it should be chilled below room temperature. So I'm gonna have some drink. Chilled one. Okay, one thing I really wanted to try was that at initial product announcement in the stream, there was two of the pairing food that the sake boys, I presume the sake boys sort of like recommended to her. Which one was a cream stew, which I ordered for the tomorrow's lunch. And then it was cheese, actually, Swiss cheese to be exact. But I couldn't find any Swiss cheese. This is actually Parmigiano Reggiano in a little package. I had like some emmental left on my fridge, but I ate it out, so I just ordered it, this one. So yeah, you say like right? Cream cheese with nihonshu. Yeah, cream stew with nihonshu, or like cheese with nihonshu. But it is what they recommended, and I was really sort of looking forward to it, because it's really a new sensation, new flavor profile. And I was wondering maybe it works or not. Maybe it is sort of, when you are pairing something, you like a fragrance, you might see like a flavor note or a scent note, a fragrance note. Maybe you can connect the dots. But I have like tiny, it is like blasphemous, right? I had a little bit of like tiny bit of suspicions that it wouldn't work. So I really want to test it out. This is just like a run-of-the-mill Japanese style cream stew with a little bit of shrimp, with a bacon, olives, a little bit of like pasta. So let's try it out. Let's see. A little bit of stew with some olive. Okay. Hey. Bon appetit. Okay, this is definitely what do you call a cream stew in a Japanese family restaurant? So I'm nailing the criteria there. Okay, cream stew and inatsu. And it works. Okay. Hey, I think that wasn't like a first how should I say? It wasn't like baseless claim where if you think about food pairings, you might think there is harmonious like relationships between the food and the drinks, right? Like if you drink, for example, I think I drank a little bit sparkling sake like a last time, and it was really pairing well with a slice of apple, since the sake was really dry and sparkling, where it really like complemented apple's crisp flavor. That was like complementary and harmonious sort of like relationship between the food and the paired drink. But this one is more like a palate cleanser, sort of like harmonious relationship between the food and the drink, where you see the cream stew have a lot of, how should I say, richness to it. It have some seafoodness, it have some bacon's grease, it have some cream cheese and creams, and spices and olives, which makes a really thick and rich flavor. Yeah. And then it kind of lingers into your mouth that it is cheese and richness. It is cream stew after all. And if you drink this sake after this one, it sort of like cleanses all of these things and you kind of make it crave more. Where it is not inherently a bad thing, but I think it is a little less than a harmonious relationship that makes the pairing a little bit more amazing. Because what it essentially does is that it is diminishing the original flavor of the food and let it slide to the back of your throat, so you can enjoy another drink or enjoy another food. So that is that. But in a way, I think it kind of like sort of works well, since it is like a pickle, you know? If you eat a pickle with something rich and greasy, you can eat another bite really, really soon because you are back to zero. But what I like expect, think of the way that it should be working as like a pairing food is that one flavor meets another and it creates synergies and creates more harmonious relationships, that it goes further than just extinguishing the first flavor so you can enjoy the second. So yeah, in that sense, it is not really up to my criteria. Yes, clean state instead of abundantly existing flavors profile, yes. So based on like a pineapple really sweet drinks, I don't think it will be really complemented by rich, even in the dessert. I don't think it will be paired really well with pastries or how should I put it? Something a pie-like with a lot of fillings and earthy dessert like a sweet potatoes or custard, eggy and buttery things. I don't think it will be not really go along with it, but rather I think it will be complemented really well with citrus things, but not just those citrusy things that it is, but a boiled down a version of the citruses. I think it will be really goes well with marmalade on a cracker, like a little bit of like flat salted cracker with a bit of like orange marmalade, maybe peach marmalade. Peach is not a citrus, but sort of like those fragrant things on the really savory, a little bit of a savory undertone. it will really complement this sort of drink. It will be really feels like you're enhancing the first waft of the cotton candy you will be drinking from this cup, and it will create a little bit more like a body of the sweetness and enjoyment, fragrant you could feel from your tongue. So not using this as a palate cleanser is definitely works, but I would be really appreciate it if this was like complemented by the other food. And I think those like marmalade, a jam, a citrus, like even candied citrus or dried citrus, and peaches, stone fruit, yeah, like an apricot, peach. What other stone fruits are there? Cherries, yeah, really ripe cherries. Something that have like a more body in their sweetness would be really work well with this one. And I think the caramelized sugar, right? It will also really well paired with caramelized sugar. And if it was like caramelized sugar is maybe combined by like some banana, right? I think sliced banana with a sprinkle of salt on top, you toast them, it is like a banana brulee. And I think that will be really complementing this drink well. Those are like sticky sweetness. That is my thing. That is my thought. Nice. Okay, but to what should I call it? To stick with the original plan, I'd like to have it with a little bit of cheese too. This is actually really bitter. Like Parmigiano Reggiano in a little bit candy package. Have you ever like heard about it or seen something like this before? And it is just a block of like Parmesan without the line on, like. Oh. It is just a block of like Parmesan in here. Huh. Like, don't you usually use like the half of amount in like full pasta? This is a block of cheese. What the fuck am I going to do with a block of cheese? And I have like 5 of them. Yeah, I don't have like a microplane or any like cheese grater to like put it on. I guess I could like slice it and put it on some cheese melted. Oops. So anyways, I'm gonna take a bite of this and pair it with Inatsu. Well, and it is a cheese. Salty, funky, milky. Okay, to the Parmigiano Reggiano. Cheers. Yeah, again, this really works well as a palate cleanser, so it washes away all the saltiness and all the milkiness, all the funk, but it doesn't like complement well with the things. Yep. I guess this is more like suited to be a dessert wine than like a food wine. Although, it sort of like works. Oh, have you ever like eaten the hamon on the melon hamon, the little Iberico hamon on the slice of like a ham, or like a charred pineapple with some really nice cured ham. It's sort of like have that sling. How should I like put that one? There is like this sling of flavor that kind of links into your mouth, where equally fermented food meets a really fragrant thing, and it kind of like boosts the other flavor. So Parmesan Reggiano is a aged and cured cheese, which means it have a little bit of the funk from what should I call it, like a Iberico ham and those like cured food, like not cold cuts, but cured ham and cured things. And this one having providing that sort of like a really refreshing fruity flavors. It kind of works really well as how the Iberico ham and the melon kind of works. So opposed to the cream stew, actually, I kind of like this more, since in a way, but it is like aftertaste kind of things. Maybe like the dosage of the cheese would vary, but I think it really works well. Hold on, let me get another like sip. This is really interesting. But this is like coming from a person who actually never had wine and cheese before. Okay, block of cheese. Although I gotta admit, this is like first time I eat like a mouthful of Parmigiano Reggiano. Like before then, I only ate like a grated version on the pasta. Not even on slice. We usually like eat it like as it is grate on your salad, it is grate on your like pasta, or like your stew, to like elevate a little bit of your food to a little thing. But now it is like sort of like first time eating like mouthful of cheese. It really is sort of like kinda appreciate the flavor of the cheese more. It is strange sensation. Okay, cheers. Cling. And it works. Even if in the aftertaste, it sort of like works. I kind of see where it have to be more like aged cheese. Because in the announcement, she sort of said it is like Swiss cheese. And if you think about it, Swiss cheese, it isn't like mozzarella or cheddar or white cheddar or Monterey Jack, those kind of things. It is more aged, refined, and possibly like more milky and funky. And I really like that it have those like elements. It is strangely like complementing with your food. So those like sweetness that is faded really away really quickly, like cotton candy, and the food that lingers in your mouth more, sort of like works together really well. And it is nice. I liked it. Maybe, who knows? Maybe next time I should like order some charcuterie board. Maybe like eating it on stream with like more drinks. I have like a go-to deli and in order to know when it comes to like the cured food. So maybe it is really fun to make a little bit of like charcuterie board with some cheese, with some jams, with some nuts, with some cold cuts. It could be an interesting experience. Ooh, half a bottle. Damn. I only have like one more in this tokery, but the bottle is half empty already. Am I slurring my word? Am I drunk that quickly? What? Oh. Filling up tokery is like filling on tokery is really hard in a way that you cannot really see the bottom of the the thing or like top of the thing. So you just pour it in and listening to the sounds of it slowly filling up. And before even you notice, it sort of like pushed through the top of this hole and like covers the whole thing, and you split your drink everywhere. Like I never once in my life using dokuri and not spilled my drink. It's sort of like embarrassing, but it is what it is. Oh, I'm drunk. I'm not like drunk in a way. Oh, I'm gonna pass out, but I'm sort of drunk in a way. I'm feeling great than before. And it's refreshing. Weather is finally settled in a way that I don't need an air conditioner. I really just have to air it out like a few times in a day to create a suitable living temperature. I don't know how that would be now. We have to like turn on the thermostat and all after if we get to the winter, but yeah. On that note, now I sort of like want to talk about what happened. So Mama graduated from the February, and well, it is like February, but the ceremony was on the March. So before that, I lived briefly on my jika. I don't know what's that in English, the family home. Because we were out of the city where we was born and having like a university, a dormitory sort of like situation for the past few years. So we were living on a family home for like months, and fortunately I was given two opportunities. First was since I was like applied to the working holiday visa and actually got one. I was eligible for like many internships or things. So the first pass was leaving the country and moved to Tokyo to work as or like I don't know, like we would have like work in business that is not like a big business, but where we can like learn like a more real life trade, you know. And then there was a path that was given to me. First one was the Japan one, and second one was the inside the country one. So ultimately I choose the latter because the conditions and options was like too great for me, since I don't really have to move my whole thing into essentially unknown, because Tokyo and like the foreign city, and I have a liberty to speak my own native tongue while working for my first job. So and the pay was really nice because it is like startup, so it doesn't have a like incentive and like a bonus at the end of the year and stuff, but its pay was all right. And so ultimately I choose this one, but in retrospect I think it was a mistake, cause after oh actually yesterday no day before yesterday is a Friday, right? The day before yesterday was my 6-month anniversary of the employment. But 6 months after those 6 months, I decided that I want to move on, actually. And, I really thought I would have like learned a lot, that maybe I would serve in this country, not that country, but this company for like 3 years, so I can get a respectable career. And we could move out to Japan for like with an experienced worker, but I think we were sort of like blind in a comfort, blind in a way that if you like seek comfort, right, you don't essentially think about how you can like improve yourself. And well, I was keep thinking about like going overseas to work and stuff, so I wasn't how should I put it, I wasn't just like sitting here and thinking about my future, about like a 5 years or 3 years into the thing. I was like keep finding other opportunities that I could be like move on. Like I know that I treated this job as like a temporary thing that I could maybe serve like 1 year. So I worked hard actually. Last month I overtimed about 36 hours because there was a lot of like project was coming on, and the project and the nature of the job wasn't actually the fit into my abilities, what I could perform, but it was based on what I could have done, what I can do as an individual. Like since I can speak English and I can formulate sort of like official sounding English word, we weren't like hired as a designer positions or like a creator's positions, but rather just another like cogwheel who will do whatever the project and the higher ups will ask. And I really thought I was been like maybe I'm being a little bit cocky, since I can do many of things, and people are asking for like those stuff, so maybe I should be more grateful because I have the position and like money is coming in, but I have like we as in our team have like talked a lot since we are the ones that actually does the stuff that is required to do to run a company. So my seniors and my supervisors all really gonna be in the road. Take care. My seniors and like supervisors all like said in a way that maybe this wasn't a thing for me, for them too. So we sort of like collectively like decided to get out of the job in the next the first half of the year. Me, my supervisor, I don't know I'm using the word supervisor correctly. But yeah, since we talked about it and we knew that the very people that taught me how to work and how to fit in a company environment is leaving for next year, it sort of like sucked away all of my like commitment for this job and all of my passion towards this job. So I have decided that I want to seek for another opportunities in the near future. That is sort of like final decisions where if you really like to think about it, you're like 4 months in the job and you're doing like questionable things, as in like not illegal things, but you would like question like management decisions in 4 months in the employment. That isn't because you're like cocky or you're like well educated or something, but it is like a common thing to like argue about as a human being. So, and because of those like ongoing problems, so I heard that if I'm like seniors, excuse me, if I like seniors and teammates is going to quit in the next half of the next year, then I really have like no passion left to do this all by myself, since I already had like a marginally more jobs than and more like what's the shigoto? Not shigoto. I have like a more marginally large amount of things that I had to digest and do than most of the new hires. I'm treated as like a more experienced workers in like a various other field where I have to just be the position where I have to learn and expand myself. I'm just being like utilized as just a mere tool to assist on the CEO's like ambitions, which is arguable in a way that it is like most company is like that, but it is still sort of like feels like you're wasting your time. And it is management's fault that if your employees think they are wasting their time doing the very job they are given to, and if all come to the situations where whole department, although it is like small department of like small amount of people, that almost everyone in the department is going to quit in the next year's half. Then as a new hire, I'm gonna see that I'm going to do those jobs that my seniors will quit, and it will just be dumped onto me, and I will be overworking, overtiming a lot more than I have done before. Then I really don't see my future in this company, right? Because, yeah, that is the gist of it, actually. I don't see my futures in this company where we are allowed to dream and nurture ourselves, right? Nurture our creativities, nurture our human nature, and most ultimately and importantly, we are allowed to nurture our careers. And I don't see my careers being anywhere near usable in my portfolio to seek another ventures. So to seek another job, if I think about I'm gonna spend like a year, maybe like 3 years if I really endure, then I will be treated as like a 3-year experienced workers with a lot of salaries. But what I produce during those 3 years would be 0 to none. Because those are all the documents that cannot be used as a portfolio because of the NDA and stuff. And what I produce that could be like publicized isn't in a quality to represent oneself in a literal sense, where I really don't want to be associated with this sort of project, right? I really don't want to be associated with this project that I created, that my own self created. So first off, all of my teammates and all of my department will be going to quit. And all of their projects will be dumped onto me. And those projects is not the thing that I could use to nurture myself in my career or in my abilities. And since this company isn't going to be looking into scaling up into really a big thing in the future, it is going to crash or be sold in a little bit of like money to another big corporations. This company doesn't have any like exit strategy as a startup. So that means I'm just banking on the future where I don't see myself in the future. Even more so by compared to going on like a part-time trip in like not a like design agency or something. So yeah, that is the gist of it. So like after 7 months, right? 7 months before I came into this channel to say farewells for now, that I will be seeking into my brighter futures. And for the past 3 months, I really tried. I sort of really tried to get back in the groove, or like to create a space for myself that where I could be myself, right? I could be myself, maybe like spare 1 or 2 hours in a day to do whatever I want to do in a short period of time that I could like utilize to myself. But past 6 months, I wasn't doing any of that. Came home dead tired, around like 2 or 4 hours late than the usual time. And then I just do nothing and go to sleep. Then I was like waiting for the next tomorrow's work. So it was like a really dizzy and aggravating that I hate myself to go to the work to sustain myself, right? Of course, that is like all the origins and thing of the any sort of like employment. But I really think there should be another way that I would be like fulfilled, and I would feel more honest to myself than working on this one. So, I really want to just spend 8 hours every day, at least doing what I really like sort of like wanted to do, which is creating something, not just, I don't know, like I feel like I was AI for like 6 months. Just creating something out of thin air with some filled with bullshits and things I would never expect. So that is how I felt and how I made decision to quit my job in the near future if I like given opportunities. And before I was really focusing on like being the best version of myself, where I wasn't sure that I really want to leave or like stay for the foreseeable future. So I did my best. I did my best as an employee to how should I put it, like be social, and I was trying to be really hardworking, and I worked hard too, and I was really want to be like attentive, and always wanted to create more synergy with my teammates, and I want to add something more myself to the project, which is I think I did something admirable, since I wasn't just treating it as just a thing I had to do to sustain myself to get money, but I did it in a way that it could nurture my soul, nurture who I am. And yes, but now I feels like it is all but not. So I decided to seek a new opportunity. But this is for the new opportunities. Cheers. I'm glad I just like talked about that, since by saying it that out loud, it sort of like brings out the bad memories, the bad taste in my mouth. But as how refreshing this drink is, it sort of like washes away all these things that I wanted to say for like the last 7 months. And by formulating my words to describe how the experience was, it is like sort of like regurgitating what you delve in your thing and just like trying to draw it out. And I'm glad that it is done, where not only I talked out loud about I want to move on and I want to seek better opportunities, and I'm just stating that in my own word that I will going to seek out opportunities. It kind of like brings another hope into yourself. Like if you see like those Japanese like anime or mangas, like people on like main characters or like a protagonist is always like saying like "Yoshi, take it all." Like they're always like saying, "You can do it. I'm gonna do it," in your own mouth, right? And I thought it was really corny and it serves no meaning than just like a literacy device where, well, you cannot just make people read their mind, so they have to like say it out loud. Literary device. But now I feels like it really serves in a meaning in a way that if you say something out loud, then you will be able to digest that word by yourself, and you will be able to sort of like recognize that word that is said by yourself, and you can formulate your future. Keep thinking about the word that you have said. So just by saying that I want to seek out new opportunities, that means I will be remembering that word forever until I will get to that point. And I can say it again and again. So if you feel like you're stuck on something that kind of requires your willpower, or if you want to like push through something but you really don't feel like your mental or anything is like supporting you, I want to suggest you that maybe you could say it out loud in your mouth, in your own word, in your comfortable language. Funnily enough, the English is like my more comfortable language to express myself than my native tongue, since, well, it is most of like second language and stuff. You learn from what you really want to consume, since I got into English by joining various fandoms and consuming lots of like English media. So you are more like comfortable with like more expressions that you are like to say, you are like to hear, than your native tongues. Your native tongue is like mixed with everything that is between like negative and positive things. But if you are really dedicated to learn your second language to a point where you can express yourself, then your pool of words that you can pull out from your memories and your background, it is much more delicate and well-fitting in a way that where you can express yourself better in your own terms, in nuances and other stuff in your second language. And that is my relationship with English, where I'm consuming every other media and every other things that is more catered and more balanced to my interest and my emotions, that I naturally developed a pool of language that would be suitable to express myself. So yeah, maybe if your native tongue is more like that, then I admire you. But yeah, so the gist of it is that if you feel like you have stuck in your life and you couldn't like, if you made all of the decisions in your mind and all of the things in your head, but still you feels like you are not following that thing that you wanted to do, then maybe it will help you to say it out loud. Where just like a mundane things too. Like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna shower today. I'm gonna throw out trash today. Just waking up, just utter those words. Like, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna do that today. Just by like saying that, you will surprise that you will have some more power to stick up to that word, because speaking out loud sort of ingrains that word in your brains and your mind. So that is why I'm taking this length to say that I will be seeking out new ventures. I don't know what form it would take, but I do have a plan. Well, the original plan, not a plan, but the original idea of like living overseas is that I would be having a place of mine, but getting like a whole place that is dedicated to mine in a country that is more developed than yours. And nonetheless, it is like a hub capital, like main capital of that city is bound to be expensive. So I was like thinking about like getting a share house or like going to some other dormitories and stuff if the company can provide. But I feel like I have a sort of other opportunities to get a room share with somebody that I don't know but I can trust. So yes, my distinct, how should I say, plan is that I want to first quit this job gracefully, of course, not just like burning everything, like burn everything in like its glory, not anything like that, but I want to quit this job in graceful manner, and I want to find any opportunities that can grant me some sort of like stable, a little bit of income that I can pay my rent with like living with somebody in the foreign city of Tokyo. And I'm thinking about just doing that. Nothing is like solely planned, since I really have to think about the logistics and the things from tomorrow, since I have to get back into the groove of like doing things as I have before. Work, like take care of yourself, those kind of things, and seeking out new opportunity starting from tomorrow too. So I'm gonna learn Japanese more hard, at least like N2 level, and I'm going to seek out more opportunities that accept me, that could like pay me just a little dime. And I want to start from there, since from like 2 opportunities there was presented to me, I took more comfort options. Now I want to challenge myself, since the living conditions that regards to for me isn't that much grandeur. If I have to like say myself, I only need 3x3 meters of space with like maximum 3 meters by 3 meter space with bed and desk where I could put my PC and monitors on, and like a shower room, a working toilet that I can clean and maintain, and AC, which is not a problem in like Japan, since this city where AC is needed, so there should be bound to be one. So I don't really ask much about the living conditions, so I'm quite comfortable to say that I could live myself as myself in sort of the more minimal ways than this. But the real challenge is that to sort of like ironing your mentals, right? Since if you are working as a part-timer in like a foreign country, even if you're there in the good intentions, people and all of the society will try to reject you. Since you are unwanted, you are trying to fit in, but even if you are like passing as one of the ones that could like things, but as soon as you like speak and as soon as you open your mouth, they will like immediately or able to see that you will be treated as outsider, which I don't really mind, since for the brief time I was in Tokyo, I really liked how they don't acknowledge you, since I like the society where no one really acknowledges you but just ignores you, where many people would think that it would be cruel and cold society, but I'm one of the person who take comfort in being a nobody, not trying to be like somebody, but in that way, the social things that were really sort of like comfortable with me, to at least for the regard I could like strengthen myself. But yes, that is sort of like all that I really wanted to say. This sums up really nicely, if I have to say so myself. Yeah. Wow, new opportunities. Like, doesn't it like excite you just a little bit? New opportunities. I get people want to be like stable and want to I think there's like two kind of people who are, one is like who are excited to be in the comfort of the other things, like comfort of the mundane and normal things, and there's people who are excited to get a new opportunities and new set of things that you could think about. Like, there is sort of people who keeps working on the same piece again and again and again and again until they can perfect it. But I'm sort of like a person who scraps a project every other second to just to start it over, because you learn something from something and you can do better next time. So, I'm excited to start it all over again, actually. As much as I really like to be being comfortable, but that doesn't mean I want to be stagnated. I don't want to be like those like accumulated mud on the riverbank that just be there to be like washed off by another current. I want to be the current. I want to be in the current that like defines how the river flows. In that sense, I really like to start it over, starting everything over, establishing new rules. Even if you lost something, you can gain something back, because you are the same. You are not the same person, but a better version of yourself. So I'm really excited to start again. for whatever that would be. It's like starting to live again with another person, starting to familiarize myself in the foreign environment. That could be social or that could be physical. Even like the bed. I can't wait to like familiarize myself in new mattress, finding a new bed wings, with blankets and pillows. I can't wait to like how fast I could call their home, right? And how can I think the first sign of the things that I consider myself a home or like a place I'd be is actually the shower. Because if I don't care about like the frequency, I really like to take a bath and a shower, even if it's not really like frequent if I don't care myself. But so I'm a frequent like cleaner of myself, and as soon as I familiar myself the new shower, then I feel like it's more quick that I adapt into new things. Where like if you like stay in a hotel or even hostels or like hotels or any other like accommodations like homestays, you always feels like you are showering in someone else's place. But as soon as that feeling fades and feels like that showering place, whether it could be a bathroom or like a shower booth, the faster you feels like that place is yours, then I feel like I'm more suited to be that place. That is, the shower booths or the bathrooms, it doesn't really matter, but it could take like months for, not a month, it could take years for another like people. But for me, I think it will take like average like 2 weeks to be really accustomed to the way of the shower of the new place. And as soon as that happens, I feel like I'm more confident to say that place is my home. Even if it is like I'm gonna share it with someone. So that is the gist of the story of like how I could be adapting to the living works. How I could like more faster, I could call myself something as my home. And I'm looking forward to control a sense of self to fit into and adapt into a new environment, to another home. Clings, noise. So that is about like my living conditions I'm looking forward to. But there is like another thing that I think everyone would be like afraid of: new jobs, new working environment. Cause you see, like working and doing something together, it's requiring like a massive amount of like social works, a massive amount of like fitting in, a massive amount of like adaptability. But I could like call myself a more like adaptable person who can, how should I put it? I don't really have my strong persona of how I'm doing things. I'm really gullible in a new ways, and I'm confident in my adaptability that I could do myself. Good to hear you're adapting a climate to your environment. Actually, this is talk about like how I would be adapting to my new environment if I get the fuck out of this environment. So the little recap of the story is that first not me but everyone in my department was kind of like thinking that the management of the this company isn't like suitable to nurture their careers. So all of them, including me, are like not like I don't know that how I'm going to do, but almost all of my department would be leaving the company at least next first half of the next year. So there is like disagreement from management. Ooh, the scary word. There is like a huge disagreement. How do I spell that word? Disagreement? Disagreement, yeah. Not only there's a disagreement with higher management, whole department is going to quit next half of the year. So I don't really have like a reasonable reason to stay in this company where all of my seniors and supervisors gonna quit. So before that hits, I'm thinking about quitting this company and like seeking new adventures before my working holiday visa runs out. So that's the gist of it. So so I was like talking about like how saying out your like this is actually like first time I speak my mind about what was the problem was and how I want to change it by detach myself from the company. So I was talking about how like speaking out loud to someone kind of empowers you to do something that you really need to do and already decide in your mind. And I was talking about how long that it takes me to adapt into a new living environment, which is how should I put it? If I call the showering place like a bedroom or like a shower booth my showering place, then I could like sufficiently call myself that place is mine, right? Even if it is like a share house or like a hotel or something, if I take a little bit of time to think about there's a little bit of time to adapt into that living space, that I could like call myself there my place. So I'm more like adaptable to the locations, since I from like a young age I have been like not moving our family home, but I was like moving in another like different camps, and I was living alone on my high schools, and I was living in dormitory most of the times, and I was constantly moving around the dormitory rooms because of the rules. So I'm used to like fitting myself into the new environment, and as you said, I'm accustomed to a new environment really quickly, so I don't require that much of like comfort to like move around, because some people just want to be like stable, like living in a stable and comfortable and familiarized place. But I could be like adapting to a new environment really quickly if I put my mind into it. And then I was talking about how would I adapt into a new jobs, working things essentially, since I was lucky on my first job, since my seniors and my supervisors were sort of like veterans on this industries, where they are used to doing these sort of like jobs in the department. and they were really like helpful to me. That they were really like, my seniors were really great. My teammates were really great. They have a like really like, lot of like wisdoms to make someone like me could be like fit into the society and fit into the things, but that is because they're used to like supervising and giving advice to someone else, because they have been on the job market for like 3 or 5 or even 7 years for someone, and then they are kind of used to teaching and nurturing a new hires. So in that like regard, I was really lucky to meet those like people who were like in our department, since they were really nice people who were giving a lot of advices and a lot of like practical advices that make me into a person who can do the job properly. That is really hard to do, since I was in that position as a senior position on like the school and stuff, and I was really bad at it. Like, I couldn't ask people to do what is required to do, and because of that person failed, I couldn't like take responsibility of the fail, because I mismanaged that person to create failure in the supervisor's eyes. And I couldn't take responsibilities because I really couldn't feel that was my responsibilities. I was bad seniors, but those seniors were really know how to like mold someone into like, not essentially like beat myself into the mold, but like mold me into the being that could be like fit into some of the project that we need to do. So those seniors were really nice people, but those nice people will quit next year, so I will going to quit first than those people's. So yeah. So in that regard, I have like no worries about like fitting into the new working environments too. I don't feel like I myself would have a problem with any sort of jobs that I was trying to do, actually. I have a confidence in myself that I wouldn't have a problem with anyone that will try to do the jobs properly. But what I learned from the seniors in this job is that you will need at least about like at least a month to get into the groove of the things. Like, even if you are adaptable, capable, and have all the functionality you need, but if you cannot be handled by another person like a manager or supervisors, then you are worthless, right? Because there is a common goal that to be fit to in the direction of the company, and if you cannot do the things in your abilities to in a way that sort of like fits the working environment, then you are being a nuisance than being a worker who are doing their jobs. Even if you are doing your jobs, yeah, you have to do your jobs in a certain manner that is in the direction of the company. The workplace culture and so, yes. And I have a confidence of myself to be taking that groove, to meeting that groove. I have no quarrel with like making that nuances and mannerisms of all the things that are required to do, but there is always managers who are either could be like immature to be handle a person like me, or someone who cannot be bothered to nurture someone like me to fit into the things, like myself, who wasn't able to take responsibility to the new hires, like a new students, from my perspective. So, but you cannot control those things. You can mold yourself, you can change yourself to be yourself, to no, to fit into the work cultures. But if you are really cannot, you cannot really control what person and what persona you were going to meet in your new work cultures. Like, who knows, I will be meeting really more great like senpais that I could like ever imagine. But also you can like get like 100 or more of my management that couldn't like handle me properly. And no matter how much functionalities and no matter how much abilities I have, if they cannot accept us to those work cultures and cannot properly manage me, then since I am the one who are new in that company, I will be the one to blame. And that is just how it is, and I cannot control that. So like they can like take offense of like anything that is of me, that I will be just be myself and drinking water for all the fucks that I care, that they will take like offense of that, why you're fucking drinking water in these working hours, and I cannot control that. So that is my worries. And I think that is like a reasonable things to like worry about, and it will be more harsh on the part-timers and interns, which is allowed to in a working holiday visa. So yeah, no matter how much I am prepared and like confident into fit into another society, I can be just much as rejected by them. So yeah, that is the reasonable the worries that I have to find new opportunities. But they cannot be helped. So this one is of all the worries and like, I don't know, for the future worries. For everything that I have to solve by being myself, clean. Yeah, I'm not saying that too, that this one is such a drink that really washes away the things in your mouth. Then how much you say like worrisome things, all the things that you're frustrated with, that is really bitter about your life. Because this drink is such a refreshing drink, you can wash away those worries, you can wash away those anxieties. And that is like a wonderful thing. Just to talk about what is like worrying you and wash it off by this amazing drink. I'm really grateful that I decided to drink today, because I was preoccupied to like creating something for like all the whole vacation, that I was really like depressed and disheartened by the fact that I caught COVID on the first week of the holiday. And I was like doing nothing essentially, because I couldn't do nothing because I was like 38.5 degrees, 38.75. So I was like burning up and couldn't think properly. I was delirious. But still, I had that anxiety of like having to do something, even if it was my vacations. But yeah, that's what I feel like. So I felt like I wasted a week of my life being sick, when in reality that you cannot like control those things, and you rested yourself properly, so you couldn't. That who knows that maybe this was like so harsh that it could like develop into pneumonia, like something pneumonia. I don't know. So finally, at the last day of my vacations, that I finally found some peace. For talking about what's been happening for like 7 months and how I'm going to do and what I'm going to do after this months. So by stating that out loud with my own word, I can finally hear myself, you know? If you are just thinking about things, you are not hearing yourself. Because that is all voices in your head, if you think about it. But if you speak out loud of your minds and what you're trying to do, what you aspire to do, then you can finally hear yourself and pick up yourself from there. So finally, I don't feel restless. English is hard. Restless. I don't feel anxious, at least for now, since I'm with a good drink and good people to talk with, and I have a will to fulfill. So it is ironic that the final day of my vacation that I finally found peace. Better than ever? Of course, of course. Cheers for peace of mind. Chilled. This drink chilled is so much greater. It really feels like pineapple smoothie. It is like things that you feels like it is inadequate to compare the sake into, but it really feels like pineapple smoothie. You know, I have been like craving like pineapple for the past about a week actually. So refreshing. So how like refreshing. I really want to say about like refreshing, you know? Refreshment. I'm consistently seeking something that could be refresh me. And past like a few years that the smoking and like vaping was sort of like best keep track of that bottle before it disappears. Don't worry about it. I have one more bottle. I bought 2 bottles. Well, I bought 2 bottles because I think maybe I could like bring it to some friends or like a more whole fans I get to know and maybe like share with them. But well, I guess I'm going to drink a whole 2 bottles of it right now. So what I was saying, alright, got refreshment. Since since I'm a person, oh, what the fuck is happening to my voice? uh, since I'm a person who are anxious all the time, I'm consistently finding some way to refresh myself. Cause like I'm saying something to myself, my voice in the head, like I keep saying something to myself to do something. And that restlessness is sort of like plaguing my brain, to fogging my brain in a way that I couldn't like do something. And I'm consistently trying to find refreshment that can put me out of that environment. And past like few years that we've been smoking and like bathing, and since I like quit that, it is almost like 3 years actually. It is almost 3 years I quit anything that is smoking or vaping. Right. So because there is no like those things, I'm constantly seeking something that's refreshing, something cold, something that can put my sense back into me. Found something to put you at ease. No, I haven't found something that put myself in ease. That is actually the topic of the talk right now. That I am keep searching something to like refresh myself. That could be like a cold breeze or like a soda or like a iced tea or melon soda, like bottled drink. And none of them was like sustainable. And I really kept thinking about only like beers or something that is like a vodka soda or something substance needed to be inside the things that I consume to seek a refreshment. But now I can feel that how should I put it? It was all inside my head essentially. Yeah. All of the things that was fogging my mind was inside my head. That nothing, any other like a bodily stimulant, like Fiji waters, ice cold waters, alcohols, any other things, nicotines, caffeines, any other available things that I can consume myself to relieve myself from the thing. It's just like prolonging the things that is fogging my mind. So for the first time of my life, I think I mustered the courage to make appointment to how do I fucking say that word? Shrink, right? Shrink. I had an appointment in shrink in 3 days. That I know what I want, as in sort of like ease myself. And I know what I want to do, and I want the direction that I want to be better version of myself, to fix myself. Yeah. That is that. So that is one more thing I really wanted to share, that I'm breaking out of the things that have been like fogging me for like a past however years. And I'm finally taking the problem directly that I want to try to solve myself, to seek out the better futures. The journey of the healings that I must put. So yes, instead of like seeking all of those like stimulating things to refresh myself, whether it be drinking, smoking, or like medicating, or even like going outside, that I'm finally will trying to tackle the original problem, which is my brain, and how its little chemistries have plaguing me for the past whatever years. So I'm of course afraid that I'm afraid that I will be diagnosed. You know that? Like, you know, like, ever did you have ever that kind of like fear that you would be fit into some kind of like frame? That you will be diagnosed and you will be put into some sort of like frame that will define you. I know it is like irrational fears and some people like prefers that things, but for me that it is like fearsome to put into some standard. Like, if I'm going this route, then the doctor will call me in a certain like diagnosed state. You are depressed, you are ADHD, you are seeking like stimulant, you are addictive, you are addict. Like, they will put me into the a stature that like a state that I could define myself. And that was sort of like fearsome to me. Yeah, it is natural that you cannot really relate, because this is a problem sort of like unique to me and few people's, and it is fearsome to see that my problem is realized. Then before I seek help, it is just a problem that I had without any worries, that it doesn't make sense that I have a problem that doesn't worry me. No? But now I will define my problem and trying to tackle that problem. That is really, really, really hard. That you will be diagnosed, you will be put into some standard, you will be no longer unique of your problems. Your problems will be just another person's problems. You will be normalized, you will be put into some groups that you can relate to, and that was worrying me all of these years, that you will be finally be normal, you will be categorized, and that will render you no longer unique. That you are not, your problem is not unique. That sort of things. But now I have to find peace with that too, that I will be defined and I will be given solutions that I will follow to somehow like quell all this like fogginess inside my mind. And that is the things that I must do to be better version of myself. How can I like spread happiness if I doesn't able to be happy myself? That is what I'm feeling. And if I can somehow have that things to like to solve out however years that thing will take, then I feeling like I will be finally able to I will be finally be able to do something without worries, right? I could just open up the game and not worry about like playing for like next 10 hours. I couldn't not worry about like foregoing my drawings. Even I don't have to worry about not finishing up my food. I'm really anxious about not being able to finish what is like offered to me as a food, or even I bought something that I'm plagued that I have to finish that what I started, even if it will like make me sick. I have to finish the food that was given to me. Yeah, that sort of like worries will be disappearing from me, and if that happens, that will be really great to me. That I can do things moderately, because before times I was doing things, I was not doing things, or I was doing things obsessively. I was doing things for like 16 hours straight, where I was doing nothing. But now hopefully I can find myself doing things for 2 hours, maybe. Maybe I was doing things for like 4 hours and quit. Wrap it up. Do something else. Rest. Like, to find that medium, to find that moderation would be my goal to my foreseeable futures. I don't know how it will like being break free of all hyperfixations, hyperfocus, hyper everything that plague me to do nothing or do the things for next 16 hours. That I will be if that shrink is rigid and they can provide me such care that I seek, then I feel like I could find a middle point where I can still be productive and be returned to nothing in a heartbeat. I will be doing work 8 hours straight, and I can just like detach myself from the work and rest myself properly, doing whatever I want. Like, I wouldn't be feeling guilty lying on my bed. And that is all sort of like being available to me because of this job, actually. Because being employed sort of like giving you financial freedom, right? So, first time in my life, in last month, I was finally able to become on the green. I had like some sort of like debt from my like life spendings of like eating and like just living my life on my college, like university and graduate school days. And mama had some too, but now I'm on the green because, how should I put it? As much now, like in parallel, right? I'm paying off my debt whilst I'm put up my savings, right? And those gap finally surpassed that I have more money than my debt. Does that make sense? Like, and even if there is like only like few months left on this year and the next year, that it will be more greener every month, actually, since I paid off everything almost, and I'm like controlling my spendings too, like my food and everything. The shekels, yeah. I'm unchained. I don't know how much it'll be last, but at least having that sort of like financial stability, stability, and being able to find out the helps that I need to. What the fuck is happening to my bones? So being able to find the future that I need to be better of myself, it is sort of like enabled by myself, right? Enabled through me becoming employed. So nothing, it is like sort of like all being a note, but the financial statement is sort of like speaking itself that I'm in a better position than I was before. It's because I have that sort of like ease of mind of being green, that I could have some sort of like having unexpected like expenditures, and I can just be done with it. And that sort of like freedom really empowers me that I could do things that could like be better of myself. The balance is being restored. It is. And I hope that my future will be all green, that I'm like sort of like doubting myself that it will be, since I'm seeking like new opportunities, and I don't think there would be all like rose petals and unicorns and rainbows in the future. I will lose money. I will lose my like balance in my life, but that is for the better footing to the future. Right. So in order to move on and being able to dream again, I'm sort of like sacrificing a little time of myself to gain the momentum as of right now. If I think like that, then it is more bearable. Because we are the creatures that always want to be better version of themselves, right? And that is the word of wisdom of today. Cheers for the better futures, to be better version of myself. Clean. All of my worries and all of my anxieties is washed out. Nice. Like, as much as I feel like I really want to drink more, but now I have some sort of like a responsible person in my mind that is like telling me, Rena, it is time to stop. That this has the same vibe as a drunk man discussing philosophy at the edge of the counter at a bar. How did you know that my favorite, like, how did you know that my favorite place or my favorite bar is the corner of the bar? Like, there is like like the bar I'm sort of like frequent to, and like this is like, if you think about this is a bartender, my favorite seat is actually here. This is like me, and this is like bartender right here. So actually, that is like sort of spot on. My favorite seat. Wow, I drink a lot, don't I? I drink about, I think that's around half. A corner is always the best place. Indeed, indeed. I cannot imagine like going to a bar and not sitting on the bar table, actually. Like, if you are going to a bar where there's a bartender and like tending to you, don't you want to like sit on the bar table actually? If you are like a 4 person or more, then of course you are like, should be sitting on the, how should I put it, like a table? Like a 4 table seat or 6 table seat, but if I'm going to a bar, then I want to sit on the bar table, but I don't want to sit on the bar table on the middle of the seat, but I really want to sit on the corner of the seat. So I'm usually like going to the corner of the bar table. Like, in that way, the bartender would not consistently sort of like paying attention to me, but I will be like tended if I'm asked to be tended. So it is like more comfortable seat actually. Like you are out of like everyone's attention, including like bartender, until you seek one. And I find comfort in it. So yeah. Wow. I spoke a lot tonight. From reviewing the sake to talk about what happened in the other like 7 months. Wow. Okay, today is like one of those days that I overcome my fears too. That, you know, like if you like rest for like 3 days, it is easier to feeling better. Of course. If you're like gone for like 3 days, it is easier to click on that go live button. But if you are like 3 months on the break, then you are feeling like, wow, what should I do if I start stream again and talk to people again? And that irrational fears are coming in, and after 6 months, you will feel like, wow, I'm afraid to do so. Wow, I'm afraid to go live again. Like feel like you're reset, and after like more than 6 months, and you feel like I'm not worthy to speak to the people that I accustomed to. Maybe I'm feeling the one. Like maybe I feel like I've been, how should I put it? I've been being nuisance to them. I'm bothering them with my like presence. So it is like about time that I break that chain of thought and treating it like the thing that I could relieve myself. I don't know where will be the next time I would be like to stream something. Cause this time I sort of had like some message and a content. Lovely Inatsu. But it is sort of like true that so what I want to stream as a game sort of like ran out. This channel actually kind of started as I want to stream Elden Ring. Then it was Nier Automata, and after that grind, not a grind, but after those games are over, I am starting to like find hard what to put myself into next. Oh, I actually about Yeah, I actually bought the Monster Hunter Wild, and I have like adequate system to run the Monster Hunter Wilds. And since I was like doing like wars really enjoyably, I'm really thinking I could like do some wilds run, since I see there's like Omega, like FFXIV collab is going on, and Omega with its like OSTs, and like even Rise is like playing on the fight. I'm seeing those fight, and I'm sort of like really eager to get back on. I don't know, I could, but after I get some like doctor's help, maybe I could like starting to do some little by little. So if I'm going to do another like a series of the games playthrough, then Monster Hunter Wilds would be the next one, I feels like. Nice case, yeah. It is the one of the like a first release case. It's a steel case with like a little booklet on it. Yeah. Whenever I get bank footings. Yeah, it was really enjoyable though. When I was like doing weekly streams and doing series of the games, I actually finished the Cyberpunk 2077 whilst I was in a break. After I got this PC, I was like really surprised that I could run, like when I first beat the Cyberpunk, I was running like average 15 FPS on like 720p, since my graphics card wasn't like the 10,070p, like 1070 GTX 1070. But now I got like a more powerful PC with like I have 1570 Ti actually, and it really, first time I beat the Cyberpunk base game was like I was playing 15 FPS to maybe max 30 on release. Now it has like a base game and a Phantom Liberty, and I was hitting consistent like 90 FPS on this PC with like a high enough setting to satisfy myself. So it was really like enjoyable moment that I could just game about the franchise I really cared about, because Cyberpunk was really a game that interested me to the genre of the Cyberpunk and all of the like media things like attached to it. Yeah, it really does. It really was. The optimizations and like the frame generations. Although I'm not really like fan of the upscaling and the frame generations, but it really helped about the performance and the stuff. Shaky stuff. It was atrocious to run in like a first patch or something. I was like playing in almost like a first release after like few patches, but now it runs much smoother, and I was really touched by the story of the Phantom Liberty, and I was really touched about the story of the base game. Of like a first playthrough, I do the like astronaut ending, but I do the Alecados ending this time with the Phantom Liberty endings. It was really like touching that how I was like able to finish the things that I really enjoyed from the past, but I wasn't like fully able to enjoy, but now I can. And I really think that there is a lot of things that could be like that in the near future, since I have a powerful machine to do so. Like I could like read my backlog actually. In my backlog, I have Alice Madness Returns. This is really old game, but I only played a brief of it, and I want to play some more. Analog Hate Story, and Battlefield 1, and maybe like Battlefield 6 actually. I really want to play some more Battlefield 6, but I cannot like justify myself buying like $65 games just to play for like 18 hours, because I was actually like playing the open beta of the Battlefield 6, and even though I was not really fan of the Battlefield genre, I played just a little bit of Battlefield 3 and a little bit of like Battlebits, block game. That I wasn't really like fan of the like arena shooter genre, but Battlefield 6 was like really immersed me and mesmerized me in those like how should I put it? The amazing sort of spectacles, you know? Like there's battles and you're like infantry trying to like survive and do some good, and those feeling was like unmatched to play on the any other series than Battlefield 6. So Battlefield 1 and 6 on the thing, and Cloudpunk, another like cyberpunk games, Dark Souls 3. Since I played Elden Ring and the Shadow of the Earth, I naturally sort of like interested in playing the older games like Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, and the Bloodborne. Well, I cannot like play Bloodborne, but seeing all those like Elden Ring Night Rain streams, I really wanted to kind of like experience that too. But yeah. And few games that is more narrative-wise, like Ghost-Made Pudding, Grease, Life is Strange, like Lobotomy Corporations, and the Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. I wasn't really fan of the Metal Gear series because I played the Ground Zero, right? The prequel to the Phantom Pain. And I was really like really not a fan of the ending of the Ground Zero. I really don't want to play the Phantom Pain, but there was like a few waves of the Metal Gear franchise on the streaming on the VTuber side. Then I really wanted to try the Phantom Pain again. That is that. And there is Monster Hunter Wild. There is Persona 5 Royal. Like when there was like a metaphor, the ReFantasia was released, I really wanted to try Persona, right? I actually I considered to how should I put it? What the fuck? $100? What? Brother. Oh, thank you. That's the thing that I got you was right, then I must play the Battlefield 6 now. Since when does it release? Like yesterday. Thank you very much. And I must have to like, oh, you're forcing my hands. Cheers for the welcome backs. Cheers. Refreshing. Cheers. Anyways, there's a Persona 5 lore, because I was like so like two goals that I have thought about when I was starting to getting a job is that I wanted to buy a Switch 2 and I wanted to buy the Quest 2, right? I'm gonna buy a fucking Battlefield 6 and play. Whatever. Thank you. So, so the two goals then I have like in like spending wise, I wanted to buy a Switch 2 because I wanted to play a Zelda Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, and I beat the Breath of the Wild actually the borrowed console with my friend, so I wanted to have like one of myself, but the pricing and the whole like policy in the Nintendo like sort of like disgust me, so I don't want to do buy a Switch 2, so that is that. And the one other thing was like buying a Quest 2, but there wasn't any like titles that I want to play on the Quest 2, so yeah, that is that too. So the plan was that I really wanted to get PSP, right? The PlayStation Portable, and play the Persona 3 Portable. Cause like when I first learned about like handheld consoles, there was like a Nintendo 3DS and there's a Nintendo PSP, like 1001 and 1003. And I had like a lot of like romance on the PlayStation consoles though. Like I really wanted to play Patapon, like the Patapon, the rhythm games, the Patapon. And I there's like a spiritual how should I put it? Spiritual successor of the game, the Ratatouille, on the Steam, and soon the Patapon series will be like released into Steam, but there's like a version of me really like wanted to try the original version in the PSP, and of course the Persona series on the PSP too. But that's sort of like not going to happen, since you know if I wanted to buy a PSP, then there's no way that I can buy a game from like official means unless I have to pay like overpriced to like a price to how should I put it, the overpriced resellers and the scalpers of the game titles or the CDs. Then I have to like jailbreak and emulate the games, but that is like sort of like nearing pirating the games, and I cannot really in a good conscience to pirate like a stream and emulate games. So that is like a sort of like scrapped idea, and it only like outputs as a 420p. So so I'm just and PS like Persona 3 that I can just play on the Steam too. So yeah, so those like Metaphor Fantasio and the Persona 5 Royal was on my backlist too, and the Red Dead Redemption 2. I actually like get gifted by this game, and I have seen a lot of really good footage about Wild West on this game. It's like how the karma system works, how the characters sort of interact. And besides from like Cyberpunk, I really haven't played like GTAs and other like open world games with like a vast storylines, and really like emulating like how should I put it? Whatchamacallit, the landscape. I really wanted to try the Red Dead Redemption 2, since I have a romance to the Wild West. I don't know how Americans would like feel since they were living under society, but I was watching like a Yellowstone dramas, and like a lot of like the media that is featuring the Wild West, the like 1823 was it, the drama, and then that is a prequel to the Yellowstones. And I have like I had sort of like the Western phase that I was like watching all of the things that Ennio Morricone was like featuring their music into. So I was like watching the what was the grandpa's name? That's the kid's one. Who was the Get Off My Lawn? That one. Who was that? Get Off My Lawn. Grandpa. No. Actor. Clint Eastwood, right? Clint Eastwood. I was like watching like a Clint Eastwood films and yeah, those Western era. And I have like sort of like a lomang to like experience the the Wild West too. So that one was on my thing. And the Talos principles that from a few almost like a decades ago, I played Portal and Portal 2 with my friend. And from that day, I have like this sort of like itch to the puzzle games that I really don't have much to how should I put it? I don't have much think about the puzzle games that I don't think I would be enjoying it, but I kind of want to try it since I believe that I am not a dumb person, you know? I feel like if I put my mind to it, I could solve a puzzle that is requires some sort of like intellectual thinkings. And I feels like if I can't beat a Talos principle, then I don't want to become a dumb person, you know? So there's those are like a puzzle games like the Talos principle and the remains of like what was the game name though? The remains of like Edad Finch. Messing with your partners, yeah. There's like that is like before that I have got any mic on. I don't have any like mic on my headsets because like back in the day I was like only using headphones like earbuds, and I don't have any sort of like a voice comms with my friends, so I was like trolling my friends without any like fucking feedbacks or remotes. So I'm really sure that the reason I could beat that Portal 2 with my friends back in the day was that they were sort of like really mature from that age and have like a lot of patience, not because I'm good at the game, but yes. The remains of Edith Finch, yes. That sort of games I really kind of want to try someday. And I have like a lot of backlogs in the visual novels, the Analog, the History, and the To the Moon, and Valhalla, the cyberpunk bartender actions. That the only thing I know about this game is that one of the characters of the Valhalla is like really prone to the sex jokes. That what was that? A short hair, like a little reddish girl that have like really a lot of like a really shimonetas that I sort of like wanted to get to it and test myself as an asexual to rate those jokes, you know? Whenever like someone is like cracking like a sexual joke or something, I really wanted to like evaluate them, you know, how adequate in their situation. So like since I really don't get any like flustered or like how should I say, infatuated by those like comments, I could see like objectively how is that comment word. So I want to like see those like things that are spewed on and want to like rate them in a way that that was totally unnecessary to that was like a bang on like let's go girl. That sort of like things. Yeah, Valhalla. And somehow I have a copy of Watch Dogs. A question mark. I don't know how I get this like copy of the Watch Dogs, but I have one. So I sort of like want to play one of like the only thing I sort of like get from the Watch Dogs is that it is a game that is like really more poorly optimized than a Cyberpunk than its launch. But I really like interested in sort of dystopian society where hackers will prevail. So yeah. And there is The Wolf Among Us. I have really sort of like having a good memories. How should I put it? I have a good perception of the Telltale games. And beside the Walking Dead series that Telltale have been put on and the Game of Thrones series, The Wolf Among Us, it is like sort of like original stories by the Telltale games. And those are like storytelling games like N.A. Noir or Wolf Among Us and other games have been on my list to really submerge myself on those kind of like narratives. Like GTA games also, and Watch Dogs and Wolf Among Us and A Noir. And what else? What else? Like I don't think the Saint that game is like the thing, but I'm really interested about the games that I can immerse myself into. And Wolf Among Us, I was actually watching the playthrough of Purify back in the days when he was still like frequent on YouTube. So yeah, that was one of the games that I really want to play. And there's a game called Union Syndrome, Rhythm Cycles. You know, I'm really like a fan of the big like a denpa music. Like I really like the work of the protocols, and I think I really played like Needy Streamer Overload too, and I really invest in those sort of like the Menhera kind of like Denpa Hikikomori kind of vibe thing. So I really wanted to play more of those things too. Being immersed into the world is a great feeling, and in those line of thought, I really wanted to play Witcher 3 again. That I have finished the Witcher 3, I have finished the Heart of Stone and the Wine and Blood, but okay, I almost played the Witcher 3 about 107 hours. And I was really invested in the genre for like almost a year after I finished the game. And I really enjoyed the world building of the Witcher series. That if the time allows, I really want to play the Witcher 1, 2, 3 and the Wild Hunt 2. And I actually watched every seconds of the Witcher show in Netflix too, since I really love the genre and really love the series. Even though that Netflix series was subpar. Yeah. And that is like a rough estimate of the things I really wanted to do in the future. I don't know that I will be like possible to do. Like I really like feel the shit about everything that I love, like Lord of the Rings and Rings of the Power, and what this thing, the Game of the Thrones and other like other seasons in Star Wars, and it's all of these dramas. And what else? Like I'm really sad all of the franchises and all those series I love and put my things invested into being into like cash grabs and into becoming more like a slob. Actually, I really despise the word slob because that is disrespectful to the creators, but there is something that you cannot describe but as slopes in some categories. Like Rings of Powers is fucking slopes, right? You can not describe that as other than slopes. So that is sad. And that is like a million other like Marvel franchises and Star Wars franchises, and you know, like the thing that shaped your childhood, now it is like controlled by, I don't know, like some people who want to make another penny out of it, and it like disgracing the memories, like Harry Potter's too. Like I wish if Joanne Rowling would shut the fuck her mouth and just be the franchise that it is, then it could be refined into something more than. And she started to like fucking talk, and it ruined every fucking thing that I really loved about the genre, the mystical genre. I cannot fucking play the like Hogwarts game not thinking about the Joanne Rowling's like yeah. It's like growing up and having more like rational view about the franchises you have like loved before have like its own merit, but like the conclusion you will be arriving after you've been growing up and seeing all those franchises and the things, it's not all the positive things, you know. So that is that too. But if the time allows, one thing I really want to like watch along in this channel is that What's the Lock. Since I'm the generations who grew up watching K-ons and Haruhis and those like amazing like band scenes, right? The Kagayake Girls, the Gohang, the Okazu, the Gohang wa Okazu, the like foot pen, like ball pen, and the God Knows, and those like amazing band scenes, and even back, right? Since I'm like a K-on generation, there's like a lot of like senior internet citizens that was like pestering us K-on generations to watch back, which is more down to earth like band story. And I wasn't like that of like person who bash another like story. So I really like the back too. And What's the Rock is actually like the next generation of the like those genre, and I really like the 세잔이 날 따라, the song, and I really love the coming of the age band story. So that is one of my dreams. Then this is like a distant dreams, but I want to use all of my like paid vacations the end of the year, like almost like end of the year, like 20, like to Christmas to the end of the year, that I sort of like want to watch along like Bocchi and like maybe Fearin if time allows, cause it is a really like a lot of times that I watched anime, you know, and the three series I really wanted to watch is Fearin and Abosh the Lock and Edge Runners, the cyberpunk. No? Since I really think the last time I watched anime was before 2020. then I was like having no time to watch anime and I stuck until since. And since I really have to like dedicate myself to watch an anime, because of the umas, like there's like so much like temptations to like get me into the Uma Musumes, and I really likes the Uma Musumes. And what was I actually took the really lengthy test of the who is your favorite Uma is. Uma Musume Neo. Yeah, and my favorite was apparently Neo Universe. The like a 4D girls. And I think she's not out in the global patch yet, and I don't really like care about the real life equivalent of the genre, but I do feel I have some sort of a connection to the Uma Musume genre, since it sort of like that is a common pick actually. Oh really? Neo Yoni. I don't know. I thought the more like common pick was like McQueen or like Golshi or like Bakshin. Even the Urara or Light Showers, those like, or the Manhattan Cafe, or those like some umas. But I really didn't thought the Neo Universe would be the common pick, since she is the least one that's sort of like being a horse. If you really think about it, yeah. So it's kind of surprising on Neo Universe. But I guess because she's like someone who's like more detached from like a reality, like a bound of reality, then maybe she's like more comfort pick to the normal like anime fans, I guess. But other than the Neo Universe, I was really like into the strong Onesan characters. Oma Musume characters. When I was taking the test, I was really into who was that? Air Shakur. I don't know, I'm like speaking that right. Air Shakur. And I was into this is the global versions. Jeffy. I was into the only reason I can like spell Shakur is that Tupac Shakur. Right? Cause Tupac is like the same surname as a Shakur, so yes, I was. And one day I was a gangster rap fan. I'm still a fan of Kendrick Lamar, and not like us, baby. Anyways, I was fan of who was this? The Twin Turbo, right? Twin Turbo. I really liked her because she was like really ganky and really amazing. And I was a fan of Overfree. I don't know if I'm spelling her right, but Orbebure. The like really majestic, like Ojo, like a Joe sort of like character. I really liked her like voice acting and stuff. And I really liked the what was it? The Phenomenal. The sort of like a Overfree and a Phenomenal. They seems like a sort of like the discipline committee of the school, and really like that vibe. The Jojo horse. Since I'm not really like inside of the Phantom, I don't know the references, but I really like the Overfray, the Phenomenal, and the Duramente. Like those like powerful like Onesans, like those characters, right? The Sound of Earth. And I really like the KS Miracle too, the Kodere characters. Because when I was like really liking the Haruhi, my first pick was like Nagato, the really cool characters, and Chaos Miracle was sort of like fitting into that criteria. And yeah, Symbol of Chris and those like cool sort of like characters really like spoke to me. But ultimately, I really liked the Narita Taishin too, the Narita Taishin. More of the like cutie characters. I really like the cute ones too. Like who are the cute ones? I actually don't know since I don't know Umamusume, but as much as I like the cute ones, I really like the what would like speak to me was like those like Onesan characters, the Overprey and like the Duramente and those horses, those umas. Since if I like see like a horse and the horse racings, I feel like they are more like majestic, more like upright, more that is capable to run and like stample all the other ones. So, yep. For the cute ones, there's also one I really liked being a cute one. Who was it? It was not really like cute one, but Narita Taishin was like sort of like tsundere vibe. Like she was like really classic tsundere, so I really liked her too. And there was like really cute and cutesy one that I really don't remember the name of. But yeah. That was the Umamusume experience of mine. I just do one test and I believe that I knew everyone. So, well, Bakushin is like an influence of my priestess too. So she likes Bakushin. So, and those are like the earworms too, like Bakushin, 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 like those are like I was like watching like a little bit clips of the one who are like shouting like Bakushin, Bakushin, Bakushin on the like a highway on the fucking bicycle. And that was like oddly inspiring, you know. Like if you seeing like character that's that right and want to like go first with that much force, then you are just like have to respect that uprightness and want to go first. Like so, Bakushin, let's go. So, oddly inspiring. Right, so Bakushin, yeah, and all like but I don't really get into another like gacha games, but I really like interested in Stella Sora actually. Those are the another like original IP by Yosta that is really inspired by Blue Archive, and Mama is like doing a huge Blue Archive pens that she sort of like wanted to get into, but Stella Sora is have like some more like the Genless and Zero experience with more roguelike sort of arena battle. But yeah, those like dailies and stuff and sort of like inspired me to play some because I am a MMO fans too. So yeah, those are the list of the games and the animes I really want to watch. But the one thing I really wanted to do is actually reading mangas actually, but I don't know how could that work as a stream element because I was just reading manga and a skill for the half of the time. I'm just like slamming the desk. And I really like the mangas too. Like these of days I'm really watching a lot of like little cute mangas. That is like rom-coms, like Okami Tsukimi Sakin Nichijo, like those mangas, yeah. And like Akira Tomose's like Love Struggle Hatsukoi, that ones. And I more than or so I really liked watching mangas. And before I was being an anime fan, I was like watching like Gachubels and kaijis from like a local manga stores, a local DVDs and manga stores that I was like borrowing them for like things and reading things. And I was like more akin to reading mangas than animes, so I sort of like wanting to do some manga reading stream, but I cannot really show the mangas itself on the stream, so I don't know how that could be. So yeah, lots of ideas have been like thrown around, but I don't know that any of these things would be like possible. Only reading out loud the video. Yeah, I like for the watch alongs and the read alongs, the thing I really wanted to share is my experience and my like maybe some sort of like comments to it. I really don't want to share those of like the media itself. That is not my desire actually. Aside from like games, yeah. But I don't know how I can be the host that could be expressing the exact feelings I feel, or like if you like imagine myself reading mangas, right? I will reading like 3 mangas and I will spend like 30 minutes explaining what the scene is, and I will speak another like 30 minutes explaining about how I felt about the scenes and what references I caught off from the scenes, and I will be hyper fixating for those one scene for like 1 fucking hours, and it will not end. And without like seeing the things, you will be not getting what I'm talking about. So I don't know, like besides from the animes, I don't think that would work actually. But yeah, there's a lot of things I really wanted to do, and there is a lot of wants, but I don't know that I could. But yeah, but at least I want to bring this channel into a position where I could express myself once in a week. So last goal was like a streaming like not streaming like Wednesday once in a week. But since I'm working on like a weekday, I don't really have a luxury to spend like 3 or 4 hours during like my sleep hours. So maybe I'm thinking about maybe I could like spend about like 1 or 2 hours on the weekend, like or long hours in the weekend. So I will really try my best to stream next week. That is my resolve, right? Since I took this time to like get back to into the groove, so maybe I could like do something to without it. So anyways, like it is 3 a.m. in the mornings, and you know, I'm pretty drunk. And I'm really like I'm really, how should I put it? I'm at ease right now. I feel like I had said my piece. I have said all of the things that have been accumulated in my mind. I have said it loud, and I have washed it all out with a good drink. And all thanks to my priestess. And I really feels like I spent my time to wash away my aspirations and frustrations of this summer. And I'm really grateful that everyone has tuned in to listen to me. And I'm very thankful, and I'm very tipsy, but I'm very grateful and refreshed to talk about these things. So yeah, this sake is actually like my first approach to the amakochi sake, not karakuchi, but really like ease on my mouth, ease on my feels. But and I really enjoy drinking like half of the bottle, and I feel like I can like finish them in any of the week now because I opened it and I can like finish it too. And since how much refreshing this I am, actually I feels like this will be really great winter drinks too. Like, imagine yourself drinking this refreshing drink in the winter. Like, outside is cold, you come back in, the room is like really warm, and you are like comfortable, and you're drinking this, and you're refreshed, and this is really cold too, and and I really pray that this was really possible because of the one individual and the other teams that were supporting her. ごちそうさまでした。ありがとう。Thank you very much for like keeping company with me and drinking along with me, and this one is a really delightful experience. For the first time in this year, I felt it. I was in ease, and it was accompanied by great drinks and great friends. So yeah, love you all, and I feel like I want to take a good sleep today. And I feel like I will be having a good dream today too. Right. These days I'm watching a really like nice streamer called I don't think I can really like speak her name, but she is always saying like only the good dreams will be find you in every good other streams, every stream she does. So I think I'd like to adopt that into my lingos too. Like, please dream only good dreams, right? Please dream only good dreams to you too. Have a nice night, morning, afternoon, evening, as she would say. And thank you very much for listening to me, and see you, if possibly, in the next week. I really feeling refreshed and ease, and I'm gonna rest well too. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.